Aye. Please come.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
It's not morning, it's evening.
Good evening. Good evening, ma'am.
अब तो आपको शायद सो के आ रही हैं.
No, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Please sit down.
Thank you. Thank you.
You get, you get used to saying good morning. So everyone says good morning.
Yes, ma'am.
But you are not a good morning person, right?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
No, that's okay. I'm fine. So where have you studied?
I've studied computer science engineering from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh.
Chandigarh. Oh, that's a lovely place.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it very hot just now in Chandigarh?
Not very hot, ma'am.
Not
pleasant, yes.
Delhi bad?
Today it was pleasant,
Okay.
but otherwise I think yes.
Okay, now tell me, how do I pronounce your name?
It's Gamini.
Gamini. What does Gamini mean?
The one who is always on move.
Moving person.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
So tell me, I'm told that the European Union has come to India. One rep has come. And the idea is to pursue a trade deal with India so as to reduce the trade ties with Russia. That's what I'm told. So do you think it's like that or it's something else?
I'm sorry, ma'am, I did not get the exact...
Okay, you didn't get. Some European Union person dignitary is visiting India.
Okay.
Right? And I'm told that they have come to pursue a trade deal with India.
Okay.
So as to cut off, not cut off totally, but reduce ties with Russia.
Okay.
Have you heard such a thing or you don't think it's correct?
Ma'am, I am unaware of it, but if you say so, then there might be
something to it.
Yes.
Why are so many foreign dignitaries wanting to come to India in the high heat of summer? About 5-6 of them have already come and gone. Why do they want to come?
Yes, ma'am, it's right. It's because of the existing geopolitical situation, because of the Russia-Ukraine crisis, and because of the visits of the dignitaries, it can be seen that India holds a very important position. And everybody feels that India has a good role to play as a facilitator of the resolution of the dispute. So many dignitaries are visiting here to know our opinion and to even tell what their opinion is on the issue and to find a resolution to this humanitarian
But do you think
crisis.
we have taken a stand? On Ukraine, we haven't taken a stand. We have not voted. We have not taken a stand so far, to my knowledge. So do you think we can still take a stand?
I think, ma'am, we have taken a neutral stance and we have taken a stance that the things should be resolved through peaceful dialogue. And through bilateral dialogue. So that is the stance that India has maintained.
Tell me that the US Secretary of State was also around, one of them. So he says that I'm going to Kyiv. He's going to visit Kyiv. Now there's a lot of bombardment, lot of problem. Why is he going there? Can you analyze that?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one I think is that the bombardment now is mainly limited to the eastern Ukraine. So he might not be facing so much danger in Kyiv per se. And secondly, it's also a kind of symbolic visit that USA stands with the Ukrainian people in this kind of humanitarian crisis that the Ukrainians are facing. And thirdly, to have a meet with the Ukrainian
president.
Yes.
So, is India growth resilient? Are we growth resilient as a country?
Ma'am, in my knowledge, growth resilience means that we are able to grow despite the crisis, whichever is going. Yes, ma'am, I think we are moving towards growth resilience, but still because we are interconnected with the world, the entire geopolitical situation is bound to affect our economy as well. So in that per se, I think, for example, the crude oil prices, which are high, and that has led to inflation in India. So we are not totally isolated, but having said that, we are secure because of a high forex reserves we have. On the exports part, we have been doing very well. So we can say that we are moving towards growth resilience.
What is the rate of petrol in Delhi? Do you have any idea?
Ma'am, exact rate I do not.
Chandigarh, what is it? Per liter? You don't. You don't drive?
I do not drive.
You do not drive. That's right. Right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can I ask you some women-related questions? Because they may be asked to you. So it's a mock interview. Number one, you come across the news that Taliban in Afghanistan banned the women education. They are not allowed to study. So what is your take on that? like you are talking about the bigger countries, they're working for resolution, Indian diplomacy you praised just now. So what do you think in your mind, what can India do or other world leaders do to stop Taliban from stopping the women? What do you think?
So I think that this is very unfortunate of Taliban to having banned girls from attending the educational institutes. And India as a neighboring nation, I think has...
Neighboring nation means, does it have borders with Afghanistan?
Yes, sir. We have a very smart Wakhan corridor.
Where?
In the northwestern...
Sure?
Yes, sir. We have a border with Afghanistan.
With Afghanistan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, yes, India has a role to play. So I think that any step that India has to take, it should be again to peaceful dialogue. We need to convince Taliban that the rights of the women should be protected there, and there cannot be some aggressive stance from India. We must not take some aggressive stance, but again we should persuade Taliban, and we should hold bilateral meetings that this kind of situation must be avoided. And the importance of the education of the women is something which needs to be conveyed time and again, even to the association like Taliban.
But India does not recognize the Taliban regime. How can it enter into a bilateral dialogue?
So once if the Taliban has if it forms the government in Afghanistan, we do not recognize.
It is already in power. It has a government.
Yes, sir. So once we have a stance over that, and once we establish our embassy again in Afghanistan, only then we can enter into a dialogue with them. Till then, we are only able to send the humanitarian.
Till then, we allow the women to suffer.
So we have sent some humanitarian assistance from our side. That's what we can do.
Specifically about the women's education, I'm talking.
So for that, we cannot take an official stance right now. We cannot enter into an official dialogue with Taliban, I think. So we'll have to explore other options.
Okay. Tell me, another question is that what is your view about the hijab controversy? Some women in Karnataka, they had gone to give their exam, and since they were wearing hijab, they were not allowed. What is your personal take on that as a woman?
So as a woman, I think the law of the country should be abided, and whatever the High Court has suggested and whatever guidelines the High Court has given, that should be respected by all the women. So once the matter is in the judicial eye, and once they have given their proceedings or whatever judgment they have given, they have the right to appeal. But until and unless the matter is resolved, they must abide by whatever the judgment is given.
So that what you are talking is, Gamini, is a legal recourse, strictly legal. What, from the social point of view, what is your thought? As a woman, what do you think? This is a legal thing.
Yes, sir. So as a woman, it has both the sides. One is that hijab is seen as a symbol of lack of freedom for the woman. It is being perceived on that note. But secondly, sir, I think educationally also, women should be educated. And if we do not, if we deny education to women just because their attire is not fit, so it has a larger repercussion that the woman will be denied education. So that is something that we cannot afford.
Okay. Last question to you. Have you heard the name of Abu Salem? Recently, his name was in the news, very much in the news.
Yes.
Abu Salem. Who is he?
So he's a person who was involved in the 1993 attacks, and now he has appealed in the highest court, and now vis-a-vis the whatever commitments India has made to Portugal. So vis-a-vis that, we have...
Like what commitment?
So there was a commitment that we will not extend more, his imprisonment will not be that of more than 25 years of imprisonment. So India has taken the stance that that issue can only be reconsidered only in 2030, when 25 years of imprisonment are over. So today it needs not to take into consideration that thing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Gamini, Indian Police Service is your second choice. If you get it by chance, will you take it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any role model in the IPS among the lady officers?
So one is the first woman IPS officer, Miss Kiran Bedi, and second is now a lot of women are entering, even our immediate seniors. I have some names who have been doing very well, like we hear about IPS Navjot Simi ma'am. So these women have inspired me a lot.
Any particular thing which inspires you? particular attribute which is if you like.
So the particular, but talking about the particulars, I would say that the confidence that they can do a job which is not believed that women can do, and the grit with which they are pursuing their job, and the confidence is something that I admire.
That's very nice. Okay. Tell me, in Nilesh Mishra's story, what exactly appeals to you?
There are many things that appeal to me in his stories. One is the novelty
Is
of...
it not all sob stories?
No, sir.
Huh.
So I think there might be sob stories as well, but there are other stories as well. For example, like what I like about his stories is, number one is the novelty of the idea. So every story has a different kind of issue to tackle with. So
Settings are also different. Lots of settings.
So I hear the audio stories only.
It's okay. The setting means the setting in which a story has been woven.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
And secondly, sir, sound effects. So in every story, so whenever he wants to demonstrate a sound, for example, of a passing train, so a sound of the passing train will be heard. So that is something which makes me relate to the story. And thirdly, the manner in which he tells the story from different perspectives and takes the place of different actors, and then he speaks very differently for each actor.
okay.
So these are the things that I like.
From computer science and engineering, you see, we have borrowed many ideas and then come out with a project called CCTNS. Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about some technical side of it, which is related to computer science and engineering, not the humanities side. CCTNS.
So CCTNS is also an electronic database which is shared across the police stations and the agencies. So we use computer science because it is being shared electronically, and any one place where the data is recorded, it can be shared to the others. And a database that is being created, then we can even apply the principles like big data to do the data analytics.
How do we plan to update the data? Suppose the data is created.
Yes, sir.
How do we update them?
So like same data is to be updated? I did not get the question, sir. Sorry.
You see, suppose 10 crimes have happened in a police station.
Yes,
Those
sir.
10 crime records is already there in the CCTV.
Yes.
11th crime also occurred.
Yes, sir.
How do we update that database?
So we do a new entry to the database, and then it will be recorded in the database and it will be shared across the
A
police
general
stations.
question, suppose we give freedom to everyone to enter into the database and update it, then somebody may simply play havoc with the system and update in such a way that the entire data will become meaningless. How do we, in general, how do we regulate that?
So for that, we need to take multiple steps. One is the authentication of the data. For example, whoever is entering the data will have to enter it through a password. It should be password protected. Then there should be firewall security to prevent any kind of cyber attack, and only authentic agencies should be able to upgrade it. So we need to encrypt the system, and that encryption key should only be with limited agencies, whoever are authorized to do that.
And what we have done, that we have put values in such a way that you cannot enter absurd values.
Okay, sir. Thank
Suppose
you.
some section is 368.
Yes, sir.
Then you cannot enter 1032.
Okay. Yes,
That's
sir.
not permissible.
Okay. Thank you,
There
sir.
are ways and means to correct it. Okay, thank you.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
So, Gamini, today is an important day.
Yes.
Are you aware?
Yes, sir. One of the important events that occurred on 24th of April was the Panchayati Raj institutions were established
Yeah.
on the day.
So, why do we need Panchayati Raj institution? There are very few countries in the world, perhaps one or two, Switzerland, where there is a three-tier system of government. We have central government, we have state government. What is the need of having the third tier of government?
So India as a country is hugely populated, and third tier of the panchayat, third tier, that is the Panchayati Raj institutions, they have a specific purpose of decentralized governance, and secondly, involvement of the people in decision making. And thirdly, they have also taken the step towards women empowerment by offering 1/3 reservation to women. So it intends to bring the people, and so that they own their own programs and they become self-reliant.
Okay. Recently, about 3 weeks back, there was some controversy with regard to transfer of Chandigarh.
Yes,
There was a
sir.
resolution passed by Punjab Assembly, which was immediately countered by resolution from Haryana.
Yes,
Assembly.
sir.
What is your view on this?
Sir, I think that the status quo should be maintained because it has been working for years, and even both the states have had their capitals there. We have the required infrastructure. So I think the status quo should continue, and Chandigarh should remain a UT and a joint capital of both Punjab and Haryana.
Okay. Now there is a problem of you see stubble burning, and Punjab is one of the I think main contributor
Yes, sir.
along with Haryana. So how a district magistrate of Bathinda district, say for example, you would motivate farmers, you will make sure that this stubble burning is not resorted to. There are 2-3 quick methods you can adopt. So some good work has been done by Ambala district collector recently. Are you aware?
Sir, I'll have to read about it. I'll definitely go and
yeah.
read. Sir, if I'm given the opportunity, so I will have to take multiple steps to deal with the issue. Firstly, it would be the making accessible the technologies like Happy Seeder and Rotavator. And for that, I think the financial accessibility is the problem. For that, we need to make farmers aware about the rental, about how they can take these technologies on lease, so that it is not a financial burden on them to take these technologies. Secondly, sir, I would also try to work that the stubble can be reused so that the farmers get adequate share for the stubble also, and it automatically becomes an incentive for them. For example, stubbles can be used for the production of biogas, bioethanol, even for the shelters we can use the stocks, and even for the cattle feed that can be used. So second would be that. And thirdly, sir, I will try to leverage technology. So we've heard about this scheme called Uber for tractors. So like that, we can also have Uber for Happy Seeders, so that they can just take it on the lease through technology. And fourth, thank you, sir.
Now, my next question is that one of your hobbies is the Model UN.
Yes, sir.
What is this? You participate in some Model UN this thing?
Yes, sir. So Model United Nations, as the word suggests, is a model of the United Nations.
Okay.
We have different assemblies like UN General Assembly, All India Political Party meet.
Was India a permanent member in your UN model in the United Nations Security Council?
Sorry, sir?
Was in your UN model, did you put India as a permanent member or not?
No, sir. We try to.
In the model you should have put India is trying to hard.
So we debate on those lines, and we try to, because every candidate is given a different country. So it's not from the point of view of India alone. So one candidate is representing Norway, one might be representing USA. So we try to model it, and the basic purpose is that the students can learn to think as delegates. So, and I myself have participated in All India Political Party meets a lot.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Gamini, model apart, what's happening in reality? I mean, Ukraine is bleeding. Russia is bombing it. Western countries have committed that they wouldn't take on Russia directly. They're using Ukraine to use their ammunition and get killed. And there is this UN, almost non-existent. Do you think that the international order needs to be recalibrated? We are in for a different kind of mechanism for multilateral negotiations and international deliberations and the way peace resolution conflicts. What's happening?
So it's a hard reality that though United Nations has worked very well in the social and the economic areas, but in some kind of political crisis, it has not been able to find resolution. That is mainly because of the reforms that needs to be taken. Because currently only in this UN Security Council, whatever resolutions are passed are binding, while the UNGA resolutions are not binding in the countries. And in the UN Security...
Just visualize, since we are participating in UN models and so forth, had India been a permanent member in the Security Council, had it taken a position contrary to what it has taken just now?
Sir, so I have to imagine that India is a permanent member?
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, then again we will have to study the matter again, being a permanent member of the UN Security Council. And if
this is the reform that you were alluding to?
So the reform that I meant to say was giving permanent membership, and also regarding the veto, we need to make reforms.
What are they?
So, as we know that to abolish the veto, we will have to amend the UN Charter, which is not feasible right now. But I think we can make other changes to the veto. One is that making veto only a choice when there are certain threats to the national security. Second, some kind of qualified veto, that only if a certain amount of member countries pass a resolution, then the veto cannot be held. So some kind of regulations on the veto, so that one country is not always able to withhold what is necessary for the entire population. I think some kind of...
This international order is premised on an acceptance globally that the sovereignty will be vested on a nation state.
Yes, sir.
Right? Do you think, given the situation, we need to rethink even about this? The ultimate sovereign power that is to be exercised can be exercised only by the nation.
Sir, yes, sir. I think the sovereignty is the prime thing, that a country's sovereignty must be protected. Sir, I'm sorry, I'm unable to get the exact question, sir.
Globally,
yes, sir,
sovereignty is vested in which agency? Is it vested in individuals? Is it vested in, say, provinces of a state? Is it vested in some international agency? It is vested only with the nation state.
Yes.
So they are free to do whatever. Right? Do you think time has come to rethink this vesting of sovereignty? This is a modern principle.
Sir,
right?
I believe that there should be an international rules-based order, as India has been propagated, and every country has the right to protect its sovereignty, but at the same time the countries should not go ahead and snatch the sovereignty and the security of the other countries. So the rules-based order need to be established where every country is responsible for their actions, and I think that should be the new norm.
Okay. Who is your favorite sociological thinker?
Sir, personally, I like Professor Durkheim.
Okay. And what are his views? It's his or her?
His, sir.
His. Okay. So, what are his views?
He has taken a functionalist approach to the whatever social structures are there. So, why I like him the most is because I think that he has tried to find positive with every scenario. So, one of the thing is about the division of the labor. So, if I could explain that, sir, it's about moving from the mechanical solidarity to the organic solidarity. Since
are you talking about Durkheim or
Durkheim?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir. So, in the division of the labor, he talks about moving from one kind of solidarity to the others. He says the solidarity is still there.
Which of the two is stronger as per Durkheim?
So, as per
organic solidarity or mechanical solidarity?
So, as per him, both are trying to unify the people, but in different manners. Although Durkheim says
he
that
makes a categorical choice. He says that this solidarity is more strong as compared to the other.
So, Professor Durkheim says that the collective conscience has declined in the organic solidarity in the modern times, and that is why anomie is coming. So, in the earlier times, the mechanical solidarity was such that the collective conscience was very strong and the restraint on the people was very high. But in the modern state, the restraint is decreasing and the organic solidarity sometimes is unable to compensate for that.
Durkheim makes a very provocative statement. Crime is good. In what context does he say so?
So, he has taken a functionalist approach to crime as well. So, I think I need to read more about the crime portion that Durkheim has dealt with. I'll read more about it.
Okay.
So, Gamini, please sit down.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, it was a pleasure to talk to you. You are cheerful, you are positive, you have a good personality, and you appear confident. You don't sort of shy away. You don't know, you say, I'm sorry, I don't know. Fair enough. Okay, and you have qualities of an officer according to me,
Thank you, ma'am.
right? So you are quite well informed. You are decisive in your statement. You decide whether right or wrong. It might be okay, right? So, sir, आप बोलिए.
Very good candidate, I would say, and lots of confidence is shown in your dialogue delivery. Cheerful also. Maintain the same pace. A bit improve upon the contents.
Yes.
That will really work wonders in all the areas. Whether your own computer science engineering is there or the area of sociology.
Yes.
In the area of sociology, just whatever time you have, once again go through those basic theories or principles, whatever it is called.
Yes.
When is your interview?
It's on 12th of May.
12th में तो एक बार ब्रशअप करिए वो सोशियोलॉजी वाली चीजें तो बेहतर है. ठीक है ना?
Yes.
बोलिए.
Much about that. I think the answer should be to the point and brief.
Okay.
You know, if you continue to elaborate surprise, because then interviewers will miss the focus that you want.
Right.
For the subject, just to the brief, crisp.
Okay, sir.
That's all.
Okay, sir.
No,
Thank
sir,
you, sir.
बोलिए.
Well, Gamini, I share your views completely. You are an excellent candidate. Just brush up your current affairs content part. Just one or two small suggestions. One is that you were during the interview you were shifting.
Yes.
Just you have to sit straight and only move your head.
Okay. Yes.
So at one point of time you were almost you shifted your whole body posture towards one person, and then that you should avoid.
Okay, sir.
Because there, of course, the table would be round table kind of thing.
Okay, sir.
So you simply just move your head.
Okay, sir.
So that is one, and then you wished everyone when you entered. So you address only the chairperson, and then wish no to everyone. Just say one, good morning, sir. Or if there is a lady member or chairperson, then you can wish her separately.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
And also, you had mentioned that India shares border with Afghanistan.
Yes.
So, sir, if you admit, sir, मुझे लगता है कि he should also qualify that
पीओके की बात आ जानी
वो
चाहिए.
थोड़ी सी क्लैरिफाई कर दीजिए उसको.
अच्छा सर, ठीक है.
बिकॉज सर ने पूछा भी अफगानिस्तान से है, तो आपको उस चीज में क्लैरिफाई कर देना चाहिए था कि यस सर, द पीओके पार्ट जो है वो जो वाखान एरिया है, प्रोविंस है, वाखान
Pakistan है, लेकिन geographically, it's correct to thank you for reminding, there's no border between. You know,
Okay, sir.
UK, it's a question of this thing that we are claiming that.
Yes,
You
sir.
see the map.
Yes, sir.
That's a matter of debate. But because, I'll elaborate further for your knowledge of things. The thing is this, whenever one had come to power, India was trying to go for the Shanghai Cooperation meets in Moscow, and what Pakistan was always opposing it. Why? What was the ground? The ground, even Russia agreed to this play. India does not share a border with them.
Yes.
Only those like CIS state, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, etc. Pakistan, whose geographical frontiers are border line, everything, they should be allowed. And all the countries bought this idea. Because
Yes.
geographically, for our consumption, we can say, for our happiness, that yes, it's in POK, it was once ours. No stretch of okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Gamini, you were confident, showed, articulate, and cheerful, much to our delight. This afternoon session, something that we eagerly look forward to. Domain expertise, as said, can be reinforced a little bit vis-a-vis your computer science background as well as sociology. About your presence and postures and so forth, you appeared rather eager.
Okay.
Somewhere down the line, maybe somewhere at the back of your mind, you think that giving pause is not good. Actually, pause is such a wonderful communication technique
Yes, sir.
that you can leverage to good effect. You have it in you. You have such a wonderful personality that you can use it to good end. Okay, that will rather add to the overall gravitas of your personality.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Just pause a little
And
then speak. As if you are giving it a serious thought and you mean business, that kind of a thing, and you are not at all nervous.
Yes, sir. Right.
Think about it. If you have time.
Definitely.
Otherwise, you are.
I would request you to wear a sari.
Yes, ma'am. I would wear a sari that day.
But practice it if you don't wear sari.
Okay, ma'am. Yes. I
Pin
will.
them here and there and walk with confidence.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
If I may ask a question from
Please.
sir, ma'am. Sir, that question of the women and how India should respond. So, what should be our answer? Because we are not maintaining a dialogue.
Answer may not be completely acceptable to the different panelists. But the basic thing, number one, as I said, brevity. It should be very brief. You know that we should do this, do this. So it is diverting from the main topic. That India should mobilize and public opinion to put pressure on it.
Yes.
Everyone wanting, number one, it is wanting recognition. Number two, it is wanting yes. So the diplomatic mandarins do brainstorming and pressurize. So India should take a lead in mobilizing. It cannot enter into talks because if you don't know a subject and if you then you are revealing your inherent weaknesses more than your interests. Isn't it? Unless you are sure and you know that your arguments you can fall back upon.
Yes.
Which is not there. Therefore, be brief to the point.
Yes.
And India has not accorded any recognition to Taliban. So there is question of bilateral talks does not.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
the best. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Now it's.
कुछ बोलिए.
तो सर से वो सॉवरेनिटी वाला क्वेश्चन जो था सर मैम सर मेरे को अभी भी थोड़ा सा डाउट है. So what should be the answer to that question? Like in what manner could have I answered the question of sovereignty?
You can straight away dismiss this proposition that modernity began. You are a sociology student, that's why I asked you this question. One of the political parameter of modernity is that nation states are the sovereign unit,
Yes.
right? And maybe we still don't have any viable alternative to it. We talk of globalization, we talk of global village and so forth, but where will we actually put sovereignty? Which agency will be vested with this critical power?
Yes, sir.
Is a question that is being begged,
Yes, sir.
right? So you can straight away do away with this. This is a limit and we have no answer to it. So we will have to manage within this.
Okay.
And let's reinforce the existing mechanism,
Okay.
right? But it should be categorical. You were like going around it, but you should be categorical in this because certainly there is no alternative,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Garma, you have 68% according to us
68%.
Okay.
for
Thank you.
today's in. But you can go up. You are very confident.
Which translates to 185, 187.
Okay.
Very,
You might get in.
you can go even higher.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
thanks a
sir.
lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
All the best.
Okay.